From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Good Thursday morning. Got some more big weather stories to talk about as we could have 40 inches of snow for our Cascade passes over the next 5 days. Wind gusts going to come back for today and tonight, not as strong as they were for yesterday morning, and that river flooding potential still hasn't been put to bed quite yet. Okay, here's your out the door weather. We are still seeing some gusts in the blues, not so much for the Cascades or for lower elevations. That will change throughout the course of the day and especially for tonight. Right now, temperatures in the 30s and 40s for lower elevations. We're seeing the 20s up in the Cascades where it's a little bit colder as opposed to the blues, which are in the 30s. Okay, First Alert radar is showing you a big mass of rain and snow approaching from the south and west. So snow starting to pick up for the Cascades, for the blues. We're watching the valleys very closely. Could have a little bit of a mix in the valleys for today, especially in the Kittitas Valley. Let's take it back to the Tri-Cities. Your umbrella cast for this Thursday. Yeah, you're going to need the umbrella all throughout the day. The rain boots, the raincoat, it's going to be one of those days. So 40s and 50s for lower elevations. Again, that chance for a wintry mix in the valleys. And we will we'll have more to say about the wind gusts. We'll talk about that at length coming up on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
Northwest, rivers are cresting again as high water and strong winds hit the Yakima Valley. We have the latest on the damage, power outages, and the shift to recovery, as well as what emergency officials say residents should expect next.
Plus, the Port of Benton approves its 2026 budget. Coming up, we'll break down the numbers and what it means for taxpayers.
And a big win for a local elementary school, a community garden coming to Mesa. Straight ahead, we'll show you how students helped make this project happen and the new grant behind the growing opportunity. It's all coming up on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good Morning Northwest on your side.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jessica Jalal.
And I'm Jade Elliott. It is Thursday, December 18th.
A lot of news to get to, and we're starting off with continuing coverage in Yakima. That's where the valley is on the road to recovery after floods and strong winds.
But now this morning, some obstacles still standing in the way. Director for Emergency Management, Tony Miller, says rivers are expected to crest again by the end of the week.
Crews are also addressing over 4,000 power outages caused by the wind, and at least 4 homes were damaged in the storm. Still, Miller says the situation is ramping down.
We're starting to go into our recovery part. We had our response, ramp up response, and now we're starting to move into our recovery. It's like we said last week, patience. If you do need resources, reach out.
Water levels in reservoirs have increased, so it's still unclear if that will be enough to avoid another year of drought.
503 and now following up this morning as the general counsel for Ben Franklin Transit is now responding after the chief executive officer, Thomas Strotz, came under fire by employees at a board meeting last Thursday night. Jeremy Bishop says he's overseeing an independent and external investigation about the governance concerns. He says BFT takes concerns about workplace culture seriously and will address them according to their policies and procedures. Bishop says they are committed to making improvements where it's needed, which includes having multiple pathways to raise concerns without fear of retaliation, reinforcing their standards of conduct, and strengthening communication.
Talking money this morning, the Port of Benton has approved its 2026 budget, laying out some major investments while keeping the plan balanced for taxpayers. Port officials say that the 2026 budget is balanced and includes about $186,000 projected surplus, while also lowering the overall levy rate for property owners. Now, the spending plan directs millions towards infrastructure improvements, including work at port-owned airports, rail lines, and industrial properties, all aimed at supporting economic development across Benton County. Officials say the budget balances long-term capital projects with day-to-day operations while still leaving room for public input as projects move forward.
Use the Port's commission meetings to provide another opportunity for public input.
Now, the full 2026 budget is available on the Port of Benton's website, and commission meetings are open to the public.
504 in education news now. Mesa Elementary School is growing its programs literally.
Yeah, the school just won a $27,000 grant from T-Mobile to build a community garden. Apple Valley News Now's Caleb Stipkovitz takes you to the school this morning, where students got a first-hand look at their new award.
On any other day, Mesa Elementary's annual winter showcase would be the biggest thing happening in the school. But this Wednesday is a rarity. That's because the school is getting nearly $30,000 to start building its brand new community garden, which Principal Kara Morrill says she is excited to start building.
We want to level out some of that and put in a retaining wall, and then put in a greenhouse over there along with some of the gardens. And then we're hoping to even bring in some picnic tables and some areas for people to sit, so like classes can eat lunch out there if they want to.
Mesa Elementary says that the project is going to happen right here, just to the left of the school building.
Principal Morrill says that the school's student council first asked for the greenhouse and garden this year, and they even helped their advisor apply for funding through T-Mobile's Hometown Grant Program. And in a cycle where 900 different organizations submitted applications, Mesa Elementary is one of just 25 winners.
Well, it gets approved by our senior leadership and a group that makes sure that it's going to be going to just the best projects and the best things that are going to have the biggest impact on the community.
Once the garden is complete, it's going to give kids valuable hands-on opportunities that they didn't have before, something that Principal Morrill says will help her students succeed.
So not every student excels at sports. Not every student excels at reading, at math, at writing. Some students, it's growing things, it's art, it's music, it's playing an instrument. So we really like to be able to showcase our students and all of the talents that they have and give those students their time to shine.
As for when the project's construction is going to start, the school says it wants to get things going as soon as possible. Reporting from Mesa, Caleb Sipkovitz, Apple Valley News Now.
And once everything's been built, the school says it's going to give students a chance to decide what they get to grow.
I think that's so fun.
So cute. Love it. All right, keep it here because coming up next, we're talking your national headlines. That is coming up in just a few minutes.
And giving you that live look outside from our Dust Levels camera in Pasco at 7 minutes after 5 on this Thursday. Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbert is going to be back with a look at your first alert forecast after the break.
Everyone's gearing up for the holidays. The best friend.
So happy together.
And the first timer. The neighborhood hero. And the out-of-towners. And it all comes together in a Chevrolet.
It's Chevy Red Tag. Well-qualified buyers can get 0% financing on this Silverado with over $7,900 total value. Plus, Costco Executive members can get a $12.50 members-only incentive.
Unwrap the gift of music at Dickerson's Tri-City Pianos. Bring home the timeless sound of a Yamaha piano this holiday season, either acoustic or digital pianos. Enjoy 0% financing for 24 months now through January 5th. Available in-store and online. From uprights to grands and the Yamaha Clavinova, all delivering incredible sound with a beautifully natural feel. Make your home sing this Christmas with Yamaha from Dickerson's Tri-City Pianos in Richland.
Welcome to KVH Orthopedics, now in our newly renovated space that's modern and welcoming, with appointments available when you need them. Our state-of-the-art facility and advanced technology provide expert diagnostic and surgical care. Our team is with you every step of the way, helping you get back to the life you love. Experience the next level of orthopedic care at KVH. Schedule your appointment today. Kittitas Valley Healthcare, your home for health.
The Kia Season of New Tradition sales event is going on now at Overturf Kia. Get an additional rebate when you purchase any new 2025 Nero, Seltos, Sorento, Sportage, or select Tellurides in stock, including hybrid and PHEV models. Get a 2025 Telluride EX X-Line all-wheel drive for just $46,617 and 0.9% for 60 months. Overturf Kia, Highway I-182 and Road 100 exit on St. Thomas Drive, Pasco.
You're invited to our Christmas light show.
The college football playoff kicks off in campus stadiums. Alabama faces Oklahoma and Sooner Nation. And Miami battles Texas A&M in the 12th man. Friday and Saturday on ESPN and ABC.
Seattle Kraken Hockey, sponsored by Legends Casino Hotel.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Let's go ahead and take you on a tour of our mountain passes for this morning. We start off at I-90 at Snoqualmie Pass. It is snowy and slushy. No chains are required, though. Then we'll take you down to U.S. Highway 12 at White Pass, which is open again, at least this stretch of this stretch of U.S. Highway 12. Compact snow, traction tires are required. Then we'll take you all the way over to the Blue Mountains, Oregon 204 at Tollgate, spots of ice, traction tires are advised. So things not looking too bad for now, but of course that's going to change over the next 5 days. Okay, the winds coming back for today and for tonight. Not as strong as yesterday, but still they're going to be noticeable out there. Now for this morning, it is breezy/windy for the Blue Mountains, not so much for the Cascades or the Blues, but you can see those hour by hour wind gusts, precip chances, temperatures, all the weather variables by downloading the Apple Valley News Now First Alert weather app, free in the App Store or on Google Play. So for today, you see the wind's not going to be too impactful at all for the valleys, but anywhere between 25 to 40 miles per hour for the Tri-Cities, Hermiston, Pendleton, and Walla Walla. Then for tonight, all of us seeing gusts up around 30 to 45 miles per hour. The strongest gusts this time going to be for the foothills, and they're going to be for the mountains. So that covers the winds. We got a whole bunch of snow to talk about for the Cascades. We'll talk about it coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Josh. 11 minutes after 5 and taking a look at your national headlines this morning, where President Trump's primetime address is being described as combative and fast-paced.
The president attempted to paint a rosy picture of the economy, even as inflation ticks up and polls show Americans are increasingly dissatisfied with the job he's doing.
We turn now to Nicole D'Antonio for the very latest on this.
Good evening, America.
In a rare evening address from the White House, President Trump touting his accomplishments and attempting to paint a rosy picture of the economy. Even as new polling shows Americans are increasingly dissatisfied with the job he's doing.
1 year ago, our country was dead. We were absolutely dead. Our country was ready to fail, totally failed. Now, we're the hottest country anywhere in the world.
A new Quinnipiac poll shows 65% of voters rate the state of the economy as poor or not so good, with 50% saying Trump's policies are making things worse. 64% of voters say the cost of living is a very serious problem, 28% saying it's somewhat serious. The president had promised an economic boom, yet nearly 1 year in office, inflation has stayed elevated and the job market has weakened sharply in the wake of his tariffs. The president quick to place the blame for economic challenges on Democrats.
This happened during a Democrat administration, and it's when we first began hearing the word affordability.
The president also addressing the issue of health care.
I want the money to go directly to the people so you can buy your own health care. You'll get much better health care at a much lower price.
However, the president offering no details or concrete plans. It comes as more than 20 million Americans are bracing for their insurance premiums to skyrocket when the Affordable Care Act subsidies expire at the end of the year.
And during the address, the president also announced new tariff rebate checks of nearly $1,700 that will go to nearly 1.5 million military service members.
He called it a warrior dividend, and the amount is a nod to the year the nation was founded.
So much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. When we come back, checking back in with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth. I'll have your first alert forecast as we're seeing some more winds pick up and expecting quite a bit of snow in the mountains. He's going to break it all down for you coming up.
And Consumer Reports.
We're testers.
This organization accepts no advertising or sponsorship.
Since 1936.
Testing dishwashers, TVs, cars, vacuums.
We buy directly from stores, just like you.
Making sure products are safe.
And that they last.
Because we're advocates.
Engineers and scientists. We're testers. We're Consumer Reports.
Join us.
Experience the magic at Country Mercantile's Holly Jolly Fest this December at our Richland location. Every Saturday and Sunday, December 6th through 21st, starting at 12 p.m. Bring the whole family for letters to Santa, live music, cookie decorating, and pictures with Santa. Free hot cocoa and train rides every weekend. Explore our gift shop for unique finds, from artisan chocolates to gourmet goodies, perfect for the season. Make your holidays holly and jolly at Country Mercantile's Fest.
Christmas is fast approaching, and Honey Baked Ham has exactly what your family gathering needs. Pick up one of our famous fully cooked spiral hams dripping with our delicious glaze. And don't worry, we also have whole turkeys and whole turkey breasts. Don't forget, Honey Baked Ham makes a perfect holiday gift. Complete your feast with our incredible sides and delicious desserts. So many choices! Honey Baked Ham on Columbia Center Boulevard, or call us at 509-579-5855. Put Honey Baked Ham on your table this year.
Too busy being busy? Then it's about time you got lazy. Real lazy. And shop the brands that invented truly comfortable furniture. So kick your feet up, because Lazy Boy is now at Furniture Row. Browse and drowse in our collection of stylish and customizable recliners and sofas, and experience the durability and relaxation you've come to expect from Lazy Boy. Plus, unwind guilt-free with special no-interest financing. Here's to doing less in some well-deserved comfort with the Lazy Boy collection, now at Furniture Row.
I have moderate to severe plaque psoriasis, but thanks to Skyrizi and clearer skin, I'm all in. With Skyrizi, I saw dramatically clearer skin, and many were even 100% plaque-free.
Don't use if allergic. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and TB. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
With Skyrizi, nothing on my skin means everything. Ask your dermatologist about Skyrizi today. Learn how AbbVie could help you save.
Have a great Hanukkah from all of us at Apple Valley News Now.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colberth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. We will have more First Alert weather days in front of us because of all the snow we're expecting for Cascade Passes. Here's going to be the culprit. It is this series of storm systems that is going to continue to bring us rounds and rounds and rounds of rain and mountain snow. And even seeing a little bit of a wintry mix this morning, at least one's trying to formulate in the Kittitas and the Yakima Valley. So we'll continue to watch that very closely. But let's go ahead and put all this into motion with Futurecast radar. Folks, it's going to rain all throughout the day, and you see snow levels coming up, so that we'll talk about that in a second. But less snow on the map by 5 p.m., but then the snow levels start to drop again, so we'll get more snow as we head into Friday morning. Okay, throughout the day on Friday, just more and more and more rounds of these snow showers, moderate to heavy snow showers up in the Cascades, and that's going to continue all throughout the day right into Saturday morning. So here's some of the ice totals. Remember, those snow levels coming up, and that means that the precip mode is going to change from snow to freezing rain to ice. We could get quite a decent little glaze for US 12, for Interstate 90, for US 97, and for Oregon 204. So if the road looks wet, just assume that it's actually icy out there. That would be from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. for today. But in general, the snowfall forecast from this morning through 4 p.m. on Sunday, look at this. 29 inches for Snoqualmie Pass, 28 inches for White Pass, 12 inches for Oregon 204, even getting trace amounts for the Kittitas Valley. But that just gets us through 4 p.m. on Sunday, 4 p.m. on Sunday through 4 in the morning on Tuesday, maybe another foot of snow for the same Cascade Passes. So if you're keeping score at home, that would be between 3 to 4 feet of snow, close to 40 inches during that time frame. So chain requirements and pass closures, pretty much a guarantee if that forecast comes to fruition. Also tracking a little bit of minor river flooding for the Natchez River near Natchez. That's going to go until this afternoon on down the river. The Yakima River at Kiona, that time frame would be from 4 a.m. on Friday to 10 p.m. on Sunday. We'll have a lot more to say about that during the next half hour. Here's a 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. Rain likely today, less so for Friday and Saturday, then wet again by Sunday. In Yakima, perhaps a wintry mix before 10 a.m., then maybe a chance of freezing rain overnight. In Ellensburg, several chances of snow over the next week, although accumulations will likely be less than an inch. For Hermiston, many chances of wet weather over the coming days as we gradually trend colder. And then for Walla Walla, rain likely today and Friday, a bit drier by Saturday, but wetter again on Sunday.
Coming up next on Good Morning Northwest, a strange moment caught on camera. Experts say this trail cam video may be a scientific first. We'll check out the tear-jerking details up next in today's Take a Look at This.
Welcome to Twig's Bistro and Martini Bar in Kennewick, where every visit feels like a celebration of flavor, friendship, and Northwest hospitality.
As the executive chef, I actually get to work out front a lot, so I'm delivering food to the guests and I'm able to talk to them. And I personally enjoy working our grill and doing the steaks like our ribeyes and our fillets and really great cuts of meat. It's just nice to be able to create something and then see the customer, try it and really enjoy it.
When I see new faces that I haven't seen before, I like going over and talking to them, making sure they have a good time.
Kitchen staff here has me so spoiled. It's hard for me to go out to eat anywhere else because they are fast and efficient, and I think the presentation is beautiful. I think that we have servers that really care about their job. I can see how much they care about their tables and their customers and making sure that everybody leaves happy.
The time you're here spent with us, we're going to make you laugh, have a great time, and make you part of the family. A popular drink for sure is going to be the lemon drop, which comes in different flavors such as huckleberry, strawberry, raspberry, or a classic. But my job in particular is to make sure guests are happy and smile.
From handcrafted cocktails to chef-inspired dishes, every detail at Twig's Bistro and Martini Bar is designed for one thing, making you feel right at home. Join us at Columbia Center Mall in Kennewick, where every day is a celebration of great food, great drinks, and great company.
For 600 different cigars and 125 pipe tobaccos. For every cigar rated 96 and higher by Cigar Aficionado. For 200 accessories including dozens of humidors and fine pipes. It's the educated cigar.
Apple Valley News Now's Christmas Wish is coming to an end for 2025. But before it wraps, we want to acknowledge and thank Idaho Community Credit Union, IBEW Local 112, Chinook Home Healthcare, and Yokes Fresh Market. Also, a big thank you to viewers who submitted names of people in our communities who need help. Because of these efforts, many families had a much merrier Christmas and will start the new year a bit better off. Christmas Wish from Apple Valley News Now. See you next year.
McDonald's is putting value back on the menu, which means make it a meal and save. Extra value meals are back. So now, get a sausage McMuffin with egg meal for $5.
From our family to yours, happy holidays.
Welcome back, 522. Okay, check this out. Moths feasting on the tears of a moose.
And some airlines are flying some pint-sized passengers to the North Pole.
All the details are in today's Take a Look at This.
Okay, this is a weird one. Take a look at a trail cam clip that experts say appears to capture moths drinking the tears of a North American bull moose. The strange footage captured by the Vermont Fish and Wildlife Department became the basis for a University of Vermont study published in the journal Ecosphere, which focused on lacryphagy, a known phenomenon where insects feed on other animals' tears for vital minerals and nutrients, similar to how bees mine flowers for nectar. However, the study said the images of the Vermont encounter may be the very first known documentation of the practice involving moths feeding on moose tears. Given that documented lacryphagy cases originate overwhelmingly from tropical regions, researchers are hoping this newly revealed North American evidence may open their eyes to new biogeographical data on this rare, albeit strange, phenomenon. Now to tears of joy, which is what I had watching wide-eyed children take a fantastical fantasy flight to the North Pole.
Scared, excited, I'm just all emotions right now.
Every year, multiple airlines put on elaborate seasonal simulations in airports all around the U.S. for kids facing serious medical challenges.
We're going to get you to the North Pole as safely and quickly as we can. Thanks, and welcome aboard. Jingle bell, jingle all the way.
The pint-sized passengers fly the fantasy skies, then emerge from the plane to see the big man himself and deliver their wishes.
My goodness, how are you? Have you been good?
It's a whimsical and welcome distraction for the kids and the parents, allowing them to put their worries aside for a day and focus on the magic of the season. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
I love
My
it so
heart.
much.
That is the cutest thing
so much.
ever. Oh my gosh, their little faces, and then Santa's there. Oh,
the hugs.
Too cute.
It's the magic of the season, you know?
And creating that magic for the kids. Oh,
yeah.
Love it.
Have you seen
He was
Santa
crying.
yet?
I've seen him. We're familiar.
Yeah. He knows what to bring you this year?
Yeah, hopefully some drier weather, maybe just for like a week, I hope. But
You're talking to Santa about the weather?
yes, but beautiful story, and I loved that girl's vocabulary. I'm all the emotions, right?
All the emotions. So cute. All right, still ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. Some major upgrades to a Yakima family shelter. Coming up, the new renovations, supporting long-term services, and how one grant made all the difference.
Plus, a new nonprofit is taking shape in the Tri-Cities. A local group says it plans to provide safe overnight shelter. We'll explain their mission and what is still needed to move forward. All the details in your next half hour, but first, your Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, the FTC is reportedly investigating Instacart over its artificial intelligence pricing tool. A recent study found some customers are being charged more than others for the same product at the same store. Instacart has said the pricing is randomized and helps retailers keep prices lower. Next, YouTube will stop sharing its data in mid-January with Billboard for the creation of its Hot 100 list and other charts. The reason? YouTube doesn't believe the charts are calculated fairly because of the way Billboard weighs on-demand streams. And Netflix will be the exclusive home of FIFA's next soccer video game. It's scheduled to be available next year, just in time for the World Cup. Soccer's governing body ended its nearly 30-year partnership with EA Sports after the release of FIFA 23. Those are your Tech Bites. I'm Sophie Flay. Have a great day.
I checked Allstate first and saved hundreds on my car insurance. Unfortunately, I didn't check if doing the Georgia bark at my boss would be appropriate. Go, dogs!
Yeah. So we need to...
Sick 'em! And it's not. Checking Allstate first was smart. Barking at my boss, dumb. At least I checked Allstate first and saved hundreds.
Hey, Bark Boy.
These guys are crazy.
Sometimes you just need a moment. Self-care has never been this easy. Gummy vitamins from Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist recommended vitamin and supplement brand.
New Blue Buffalo Love Made Fresh. The superior nutrition you trust, made the way Chuck loves it. With freedom to mix fresh and dry. It's our natural ingredients, served fresh. New from Blue Buffalo. It's love made fresh.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good morning, Northwest. On your side.
Good Thursday morning. Thanks for waking up with us, joining us here for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jade Elliott.
I'm Jessica Jalal.
And I'm Josh Colbert.
Talking the big three again, it sounds like.
Lots of active weather, wind.
Yeah, snow. More flooding.
Flooding. The big three.
The big three.
Yes.
He's been a busy guy.
Yes, but it looks like one of those three, the flooding in particular, actually two of those three, not as severe as some of the previous forecasts I had this week. But the snow, that one has not gone anywhere. Still expecting about 40 inches of snow for Cascade passes over the next 5 days. But for now, we're going to hone in on the winds that we'll have for today and tonight. So for this morning, it's definitely blustery for the Blues. Not really seeing that for lower elevations or the Cascades, except for Sada's Pass. But we'll put this into motion with future cast gusts. And you see, once again for today, kind of out of the south with that southerly component, that's when they're going to start to pick up. And then especially as we head into this evening, that's when they'll really start to ramp up. And then not as, it's still going to be a little bit breezy out there for Friday, but it's not going to be as windy as what we'll experience for tonight. So here's just a little summation of what you just saw on the screen for today. Not much doing for the valleys, but anywhere between 25 to 40 mile per hour gusts for the basin and for the foothills. And then for tonight, all of us seeing those gusts up around 30 to 45 miles per hour, but the strongest gusts going to be for the foothills and for the mountains. So that covers it when it comes to the winds, but we still have a little bit of river flooding to talk about, and I'll talk about just that coming up in a few minutes.
Thanks, Josh. We begin this half hour of news Looking into Capitol Hill, where Congressman Dan Newhouse says his team in Washington, D.C. is coming to an end. The Republican representing Washington's 4th District announcing just yesterday morning, we brought it to his breaking news, that he will not be seeking re-election in 2026. Newhouse won re-election to a 6th term last year, narrowly defeating Trump-endorsed challenger Jared Sessler. A third-generation farmer in the Yakima Valley, he has represented Central Washington in the U.S. House for more than a decade after serving in state and local government. State Senator Matt Bienke of the 8th Legislative District praised Newhouse's service and his impact on the region, while telling us he is considering whether to run.
He set us up for success, and I think it matters to a lot of people that we continue that success. We don't back down from a lot of people, and we need to have somebody who's a leader that has that experience to go forth and then fight on that global stage and then fight for us here in Eastern Washington.
In a statement, Newhouse said the decision comes with no reservations or remorse and tells Apple Valley News Now it was just time. Newhouse says he plans to continue serving the district with energy and enthusiasm through the end of his term, as attention now turns to who will fill the open seat in 2026.
5:30 and looking to the state legislature now, where the 2026 legislative session will begin in less than a month from now. And this week, a total of 7 legislative priorities took center stage at a Tri-Cities luncheon in Pasco. The Tri-City Regional Chamber of Commerce hosted the event at the Red Lion Hotel, laying out its 2026 agenda. Priorities include urban area legislation for Richland, clean energy investments through Energy Northwest, and funding for Pasco's Basic Law Enforcement Academy. Local and state leaders attended, and with the state budget deficit looming, Tri-City leaders say making their case early is critical.
Our group hears from all the groups, from realtors to the home builders to the nonprofits who provide human services to the school systems, about what their priorities are for Olympia to ensure that we're meeting all of those needs for our community.
Water was also on the forefront, along with the Atlas Agro Green Fertilizer Incentive Program, and the session in Olympia begins on January 12th.
5:31, taking you to Yakima now, where the Triumph Treatment Center has reopened one of its housing facilities after closing it earlier this year for much-needed renovations. Now, these upgrades were made possible by a grant of nearly $1 million from the Housing Preservation Program. Apple Valley News Now's Monique Garcia reports on how these improvements are helping to address Yakima's homelessness crisis.
Triumph Treatment Center is a behavioral health organization primarily focused on substance use disorder treatment. It also offers various housing programs, including a family emergency shelter on Yakima Avenue. With 16 rooms, 12 of these rooms serve as emergency shelter, providing families a safe place for 30 to 90 days. Renee Coleman, Director of External Affairs at Triumph, says the facility needed more than cosmetic changes since they took ownership in 2008.
This grant allowed us to give a great refresh to the shelter, but more important than simple refreshing like the paint and the floors and new lighting, we're able to address some structural issues to make sure that we have the shelter for long term. New roof, new HVAC, improved plumbing, things like this.
She adds, these renovations were essential for the facility to keep serving the community.
As organizations working in the social service field, it's very common for us to use old buildings, old structures, and those old structures often come with an enormous amount of maintenance cost to ensure they can be up to code and safe for the residents. So having this grant to help support those renovations was critical for us to continue services.
Coleman highlights that the Family Emergency Shelter plays a vital role in Yakima's homeless response system. Unlike other Triumph housing, this shelter does not require enrollment in treatment services.
The Family Emergency Shelter through Triumph is unique among our other housing facilities in that the only 2 criteria is that the family has to be homeless and they have to be pregnant or have children under the age of 18. So once they meet that criteria and we have a unit available, then they work with our housing team to fill out the necessary application, get enrolled, and move in.
During their stay, residents are assigned a case manager who works with them one-on-one. They help identify next steps such as finding community housing or addressing additional treatment needs like outpatient care or mental health support. They also assist with social needs like food insecurity, legal aid, or child care. Reporting in Yakima, Monique Garcia, Apple Valley News Now.
And all the shelter spaces are currently filled, but Coleman encourages anyone needing housing to still contact Triumph Treatment Services as availability can change quickly. And we have all their information up on our website, applevalleynewsnow.com.
5:34 and talking local living now. A new nonprofit focused on helping people experiencing homelessness is getting off the ground in the Tri-Cities, and organizers say their next big challenge is finding the right space.
The Tri-City Alliance for the Unhoused is a newly formed nonprofit separate from church-based efforts like Sent to Serve. The group is working to secure buildings or property that could be used to provide safe overnight shelter for people currently living outside. Leaders say the goal is to move people off the streets and into structured, supportive environments.
We'd like to model Walla Walla and Hermiston Sleep Center here in our area. There's several like-minded folks out there that are pushing for this.
Organizers say community support and cooperation from local cities will be key as they search for a suitable location. They're encouraging residents to learn more about the effort and what's needed to make the project a reality.
And making a difference this morning, Cadillac Regional Medical Center is getting a dose of holiday cheer with a little help from some four-legged friends.
That's right. Canine teams from Cadillac Providence St. Mary, Providence Sacred Heart, and Benton County paraded through the hospital, all decked out for the holidays.
I love it.
So cute.
The dogs sported festive gear from Santa hats to holiday bandanas, turning a routine morning into a moment of joy for people who may be spending the holidays in the hospital.
Nobody likes to be in the hospital, especially this time of year during the holidays. So if we can walk around and give the patients and visitors something to smile about, that's what it's all about.
The parade also highlights the strong partnership between local hospitals and canine teams who often serve the community in high-stress situations year-round, and they even have the Grinch.
I love it.
Little Genevieve would love that.
I know. And I love Santa on the back of the dog.
Oh, yeah.
Like riding the dog.
Yeah,
that
so
cracked
cute.
me up. I love it. All right, good people doing good things in our community.
That's right.
We love to see it. Still ahead here on Good Morning Northwest, a hot start and some big goals in local sports as the Kamiakin basketball team has something to prove this season. Why they say they have state in sight and how last season is fueling this one. It's all coming up as we talk sports after the break.
But first, Josh Colbert will be back with another look at your weather forecast. It's all coming up in just a few minutes.
Seattle Kraken Hockey, sponsored by Legends Casino Hotel.
3, 2, 1. Thursday, it's the megawatt finale of the Great Christmas Light Fight.
What goes on in your head?
And it's getting lit.
This is massive!
The Great Christmas Light Fight finale, tonight on ABC.
I have something for you.
Hi. I have something for you too.
Get 0% APR on select Sierra 1500 models. See your Inland Empire GMC dealers.
From Apple Valley News Now, this is Apple Valley Eats.
At Legends Casino Hotel, we believe the perfect meal begins long before it reaches the table. That's why we partner exclusively with Royal Ranch, a family farm right here in Washington. From Royal Ranch to Legends, every cut of beef we serve begins on land cared for by people who believe in feeding their community responsibly. These cattle are pasture-raised, nourished through a regenerative loop that gives back to the soil and sustains the planet. For us, it's more than food. It's tradition, it's respect for the land, and pride in the people who make it possible. Treat yourself to all-natural pasture-raised, flame-broiled steaks, or melt in your mouth succulent prime rib. Try one of our towering burger creations, the legendary Mount Hood and Mount Adams. Stacked high with all your favorite fixing to satisfy the heartiest appetites and deliver a flavor experience that's bold, memorable, and unmistakably Northwest. From the first sizzle to the last bite, every dish tells a story. Taste the trust. Taste the tradition. Taste Royal Ranch beef, proudly crafted and executed by our culinary trained professionals at Legends Casino Hotel in Toppenish, Washington. Always local, always better, always legendary.
'Twas the month before gifting, garage piled high, houses were bursting, time to let clutter fly. The Habitat Store wish list is merry and clear. Our shelves need your treasures as holidays near. Make room for the new by sharing the old. Clean, sell-ready items, tidy and bold. We turn good tidings to homes built with grace, for local families to find a safe place. Drop off in Richland, all items lovely and bright, or call for free pickup and fill our wish list tonight.
The college football playoff kicks off in campus stadiums. Alabama faces Oklahoma and Sooner Nation. And Miami battles Texas A&M in the 12th man. Friday and Saturday on ESPN and ABC.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Another look at those mountain passes. It is snowy/slushy at Snoqualmie Pass, but no chains are required. Then for U.S. Highway 12 at White Pass is back open after all those trees were down on the road yesterday. Compact snow, traction tires are required here. Okay, then we'll move it down to Oregon 204 at Tollgate. Spots of ice, traction tires are advised. So just, of course, be safe on our passes. Pass conditions are going to look much worse over the next 5 days. Okay, we go from the mountains down to the rivers. Minor river flooding still in the forecast through 10 p.m. on Sunday, but now we're mainly just looking at two locations, the Natchez River at Natchez and then the Yakima River downstream at Kiona. So that flood time frame, well, let's take it spot by spot. The Natchez River near Natchez, we're expecting this to be in flood stage until 4 p.m. this afternoon. There will be minor flooding near Natchez, Etchback Park, Painted Rock, and the north end of Yakima. Then for the Yakima River near Kiona, expecting this one to get up to the minor flood stage from 4 a.m. tomorrow to late on Sunday evening. So there will be minor flooding of pastures and roads adjacent to the river, especially in low-lying areas of West Richland. So again, the impacts aren't going to be zero. They're not going to be as high as what we saw for last week. But there will be much higher impacts in the mountains from snowfall, a ton of it. We'll talk about this, we'll time it out with Futurecast. We'll talk about a little bit of ice in the mix as well. So all that's going to be coming up in a few minutes.
All right, thanks, Josh. 5:41, time to talk some sports. And the Kamiakin High School boys basketball team has started their season off with a strong 4-1 record.
Apple Valley News Now's Jake Gable is diving into their hot start and also their goals for the season.
Every team wants to make the state tournament, but there's only so many spots. Last season, Kamiakin wasn't able to make the tournament, but has used that memory to fuel a hot start to the season.
I think we're all performing really good. I think after last year, we were disappointed on how the season ended, and I think we came out with good mentality, good work ethic, and came out and showed how we will play throughout the rest of the year.
The last time Kamiakin was in the state tournament was 2022. The only member of that team still around is head coach Brian Maneely, who has liked the mindset his players have come into this season with.
Well, there's goals for the upcoming weekend and there's goals for the season, and the kids sat down and we talked about the goals we wanted to accomplish, and as we talked about, then you got to strive towards those every single day in practice. Kids have been working really hard, and you can't always control whether or not the ball goes in the hoop, but the one thing they have controlled is their effort and their attitude. It's been awesome.
Senior Nick Malasani was second team all-conference last season. He's one of 5 seniors trying to make the most of their last season of high school.
Really want to get to state, especially since it's my last year. We have, I think, 6 seniors this year, 5 seniors. We all want to get to state. We all want to show. We all want to get to the Dome, so that's mainly our main goal.
In order to achieve that goal, the Braves still have to go out on the court and win games. One area Kamiakin feels they are strong in is their passing ability.
I think our ball movement is insane. Just the way we swing the rock, we just play as a team, and it's I think the more we pass it, the better opportunities we get on offense.
So far, the Braves like where they are, but there's a lot of games left to be played, meaning they have a lot more chances to prove where they belong. In Kennewick, Jake Gable, Apple Valley News Now.
And this weekend will be an important one for Kamiakin. They play back-to-back games on the road against conference opponents.
They play Chiawana on Friday and take on Hanford Saturday. Good luck to them.
Yes.
All right, keep it here because coming up next, we've got your morning sprint, everything you need to know before you head out the door. And Josh is back with your full First Alert weather forecast. It's all on the other side of the break.
If you have an injury claim and are considering a settlement with the insurance company, make sure you're compensated for every element of damage you're entitled to. This holiday message is brought to you by Allen Brecky Law Offices.
Today, too many of us walk away from our primary care appointments feeling rushed and unheard.
We were frustrated too, so we decided to change the quality of healthcare here in the Tri-Cities.
At Primary Care at the PC, we take the time to truly listen. With 1 hour-long appointments, we care about the whole you. You don't have to be a member to be our patient, but once you're here, you might want to be.
Now welcoming new patients. Book your appointments online or call us at 509-783-5465. Primary Care at the PC. Play hard, live well.
Everyone deserves to be connected. Big cities, small towns, everywhere in between. And staying connected shouldn't break the bank. That's why T-Mobile and US Cellular have joined forces. The best network just got bigger. And we're combining it with the local service you know and trust. Join now and save up to 20% versus Verizon.
The old me was stuck in the daily grind. My routine didn't allow for any self-expression. I found clay, and that changed everything. I realized my calling was to give others the space to be creative, to build something. And that's how Clayton was born. Having a Chase Ink card has allowed us to grow it and bring people together. There's a creative side in all of us. That's what I hope people come here to find.
Earn up to 5% cash back on business essentials with the Chase Ink Business Cash Card from Chase for Business. Make more of what's yours.
Is it cold outside? Chuck here from Pizza Speedway in Kennewick. Swing by and grab hot pizza in minutes. Right now, buy one pizza, get one free of equal or lesser value. Limit one per customer. With this deal, you can get 2 large pizzas for $17 plus tax. Call ahead or walk in to order. Then cruise the drive-thru or step inside to pick up. Just mention this ad for the discount. Cozy up with a slice and a flavored energy drink or soda infusion. Visit us today at 525 North Edison in Kennewick. Pizza Speedway. Dinner in a flash.
If you have an injury claim and are considering a settlement with the insurance company, make sure you're compensated for every element of damage you're entitled to. This holiday message is brought to you by Allen Brecky Law Offices.
49ers, Colts, Monday Night Football at 5. Apple Valley News Now. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Yes, that is not a typo for folks. We could have approximately, that's what that little squiggle means, but approximately 40 inches of snow for a Cascade passes over the next 5 days. So here's why just several storm systems that are lined up in the Pacific that have their sights set on the Cascades. So for this morning, we're already seeing snowfall picking up for the Cascades, for the Blues, and we're keeping a very close eye on the valleys because it could get cold enough to see a wintry mix for this morning, especially in the Kittitas Valley. So let's put this into motion with Futurecast radar. This is going to be one of those days where I can just kind of let it play through, but you'll notice the area of blue shrinking as we get, it's known as a warm nose, but warm layer of air coming in from the south. So that's going to bring up snow levels for a little bit, but that'll up the potential for ice for passes, which we'll talk about in just a second. But that warm nose is going to be a pretty small one as snow level is going to drop back down. So snowfall will become more prevalent for our mountain passes into Friday morning. Then all throughout the day on Friday, we're just going to have these waves and waves and waves of snow showers into the Cascades. So it is going to look, the passes are not going to look very friendly at all really over the next 5 days. So that warm nose I was talking about, when we could see the precip mode shift from snow to ice for a little bit up in the mountains, could have around, 0.05 to 0.1 inches of ice for our passes. That doesn't sound like a lot, but it doesn't take a lot to make those conditions very dangerous. So that would be from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. for today. If you're going over the passes, if it looks wet, just assume that it's icy. Okay, now let's talk about the snow. From this morning through 4 p.m. on Sunday, almost 30 inches of snow for Snoqualmie Pass and White Pass. Doesn't look too hot for the Blues either, and that just gets us through Sunday afternoon. Sunday afternoon through 4 a.m. on Tuesday, maybe another foot of snow for our Cascade passes. So the tire chains, the winter safety kit, got to have all that in your vehicle if you dare venture to the west side. Here's a 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. Rain likely today, less so for Friday and Saturday, then wet again by Sunday. In Yakima, perhaps a wintry mix before 10 a.m., then maybe a chance of freezing rain overnight. In Ellensburg, several chances of snow over the next week, although accumulations will likely be less than an inch. For Hermiston, many chances of wet weather over the coming days as we gradually trend colder. And then for Walla Walla, rain likely today and Friday, a bit drier by Saturday, but wetter again on Sunday.
Now, the morning sprint.
5:49 is your time, and we are starting your morning sprint with the top 5 local things you need to know this morning. Emergency officials say conditions in the Yakima Valley are beginning to stabilize after days of high winds and rising rivers. The director of emergency management says the response phase is winding down and crews are now moving into recovery. More than 4,000 power outages are still being addressed, and at least 4 homes were damaged by the wind. Rivers are expected to crest again later this week. Officials say it could take several weeks to fully assess the damage. Water levels in reservoirs have increased, although it is still unclear if that will be enough to avoid another year of drought.
General Counsel for Ben Franklin Transit says an independent external investigation is now underway, and this comes after concerns were raised by employees about leadership and workplace culture. The agency says it's taking those concerns seriously and is reviewing them under its established policies. Officials say they are focused on improving communication, reinforcing conduct standards, and ensuring employees have multiple ways to raise concerns without fear of retaliation. No timeline has been released for when the investigation will be done.
Well, the Port of Benton has approved its 2026 budget, projecting a surplus while lowering the property tax levy for the 8th straight year. Officials say the plan focuses on maintaining existing assets while investing in key infrastructure like airports, rail facilities, and industrial properties. Many projects are supported by state and federal grants, with port funds used as matching dollars. Leaders say the goal is long-term economic growth while keeping taxes low.
Congressman Dan Newhouse announced he will not seek re-election in 2026, ending more than a decade representing Central Washington. The Republican lawmaker says the decision comes with no regrets and that it was simply time. Newhouse narrowly won re-election last year and has served at the federal, state, and local levels. Attention now turns to who will run for the open seat in 2026.
And a newly formed nonprofit called the Tri-City Alliance for the Unhoused is working to provide safe overnight shelter for people experiencing homelessness. Organizers say their immediate focus is finding a suitable property or buildings to make that project possible. The group is separate from church-based efforts and hopes to create a structured, supportive environment. Leaders say community support and cooperation from local governments will be critical to the project's success.
Turning now to your national headlines this morning, a former Harvard employee was sentenced to 8 years in prison earlier this week for stealing donated body parts and selling them. Cedric Lodge was the manager of the morgue at Harvard Medical School. Prosecutors say from 2018 through at least March of 2020, the 58-year-old and his wife stole human remains that were donated and sold then to several people. Officials say they made tens of thousands of dollars in profit. They pleaded guilty earlier this year. Cedric Lodge will serve 8 years, and Denise Lodge was sentenced to a year and a day in prison.
In your business headlines at 5:52, Mega Millions officials are warning customers about a new fake lottery scam that's popping up online. They say scammers are using the Mega Millions logo to create a special drawing that doesn't actually exist. They target victims by getting them to buy fake tickets for the fake drawing, or even contact victims to say they've already won a large prize. The scammers then get money from the victims by getting them to hand over bank account numbers or personal information in order to receive the prize. Mega Millions says the scammers use its logo and language to make themselves look legit. They have a few warnings for potential victims. Officials say that no real lottery would ever ask you to put your own money to claim a prize. They also say to watch out for links posted on social media and to always go to the official lottery site to verify the drawings.
In your health headlines now, yesterday the House passed a narrow health care package. The measure is designed to lower health care costs for some Americans in the coming years. It'll allow small businesses and self-employed people to buy coverage through association health plans in an effort to lower premiums. It will also provide federal funding for cost-sharing subsidies that Lower Income Affordable Care Act enrollees will get to help lower deductibles. The GOP health care package will be sent to the Senate, but a vote is not expected before lawmakers leave town for the holidays. The bill passed Wednesday, and it does not address the expiring Affordable Care Act subsidies. House members are expected to be dismissed for the holiday this afternoon without voting on an extension, and that means those tax credits will lapse and enrollees will see their annual premium payments spike on January 1st. And in more health news, the American Academy of Pediatrics is losing millions in funding for grants that federal officials say don't align with the Trump administration's priorities. Yesterday, the Department of Health and Human Services announced it has terminated several grants to the AAP. The organization represents 67,000 U.S. pediatricians. Officials say they learned about the grant terminations this week, which will impact funding to programs dedicated to reducing sudden infant death, rural access to health care, and early identification of autism. The AAP says it's exploring all available options, including legal recourse.
5:54 in your sports headlines this morning. Ohio University has fired its head football coach. In a news release, the university says Brian Smith's contract was terminated due to serious professional misconduct. Ohio University did not go into specifics on the alleged misconduct. Smith was placed on leave December 1st. He was named head coach last December with a 5-year contract. Defensive coordinator John Hauser has been named interim head coach. A lot of movement on the coach front these days.
Yeah. Now, trending this morning, the Queen of Christmas has been dethroned.
This is going to make some people happy. It's going to make some people sad. Because Mariah Carey's holiday song, All I Want for Christmas Is You, has dropped from the top of the Billboard's Global 200 for the first time since 2020.
I'm sad.
Well, Billboard announced the song has been replaced on the global chart by Wham's 40-year-old song, Last Christmas.
The estate of late Wham member George Michael said in a statement, it's a testament to a brilliant song and timeless record that embodies the very sound of Christmas and continues to resonate with audiences.
Meanwhile, All I Want for Christmas Is You still tops the U.S. charts.
They're all good.
I like them
Christmas
both.
station.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like...
You know my favorite, though.
Well, it's not like that song not being the top of any chart doesn't mean it's not going to play. The thing's still going to be on repeat.
They're still going to be in all the stores, radios, you'll hear it on commercials.
But you like the Lil Wayne version.
Well, I like the Gucci Mane version of the Christmas song.
There you go.
It doesn't matter where it ends up on the chart, it's forever going to be a part of the Christmas fabric of our society.
Oh, yeah.
Always. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Also the Ariana Grande song, Santa Tell Me.
Oh,
classic.
All day.
It will be a classic in several years.
I say it already
Great.
is.
You know what? Yeah.
Yeah.
That part.
Do you have a favorite Christmas jam?
Favorite Christmas jam? It's the
You
one.
were telling me about one last week.
The one by Ronnie Spector. Christmas, the snow.
Oh, yeah.
Christmas.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a good one, too.
But I
Also
don't know
on
the name of it, so it shows you how much I really like it.
We just
That's
call
okay.
it
You know the
Christmas.
tune.
Christmas.
Yeah. You like the Christmas song. All right, coming up in our 6 o'clock hour, a big win for a local elementary school. Students banding together to bring a community garden to Mesa Elementary. We're going to talk about the grant and the students that made it all possible.
Plus, a holiday surprise at Catholic Regional Medical Center, the Canine Parade bringing smiles this holiday season. All the details are straight ahead in our 6 o'clock hour. And Josh, what are you tracking?
Well, we are tracking a lot of snow, which is pretty appropriate for this time of the year. So I'll tell you how much snow we're expecting up in the Cascades and the winds coming back for today and tonight. I'll tell you if they're going to be as strong as yesterday. And that'll be coming up on Good Morning Northwest at 6.